It's Halloween time. Time for spooky houses, scary stories, and doing things that scare you. Hello again and welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. I am your host, Jason, and that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about doing things that might scare you a little bit. Now, I'm not talking about haunted houses or, haunted corn mazes, anything like that. I'm talking about doing something that maybe you're a little afraid to do. Why not do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit? I think sometimes in life, we get stuck in routines. We get up, we go to work, we go to school, we come home, we do a few things around the house, and we repeat the next day. Then the weekend comes, and maybe we go to the same lake to fish, or bike the same route, or hike the same trails, and we limit ourselves to maybe only a handful of parks. And I've found that part of getting outdoors sometimes means you're going to do things that maybe you're not completely comfortable with, or you're not sure how to do something or how to start somewhere. But when you limit yourself to just doing the same things over and over, you may be missing out on some great things Wisconsin has to offer. Now, I know Wisconsin is a very traditional state, and I've said that all the time, and that's one of the things I love about Wisconsin. We have a lot of things here that we can count on. We can count on the seasons. We can count on spring festivals. We can count on our summer fest. We can count on, Warren's Cranberry Fest. We can count on those things to be there year after year, and that's great. We know they're going to be there. We can plan for those things. We know we're going to go camping Memorial Weekend, or we know we're going to camp on 4th of July or Labor Day weekend. You just know those things. Those things are always going to be there. As a Wisconsinite, we tend to be very predictable on things we do. And again, that's okay. It's okay if you like to go to the same festivals. It's okay if you like camping at the same campgrounds. And it's okay if you like going to the same lake to fish over and over again. I mean, really, if you've got a secret spot that's really good, why not, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm the same way. I enjoy doing and experiencing the same things year after year. I go to the same festivals. I like hiking some of the same trails. There's a certain comfort level in going to those places you're familiar with, and I understand that because I am that same way. When I know where I'm going and what it's going to be like, there's a certain enjoyment that I get out of that because I know what to expect. But recently, I've discovered in the past few years, and actually since I've started doing Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer, that I was missing out on some things, and some pretty great things, because of those habits. And honestly, some of it was because of my fear to change those habits. I don't know what it was, if it was just I was afraid I was going to miss something by not going to the same festival every year, or that familiarity of being at those festivals, I was afraid to go out and try something because I knew what to expect. But I've learned now that I've been missing out on some really cool things. This is about more than just going to some new festivals or some new hiking trails or a new campsite. This is about trying new things. Trying something you've always wanted to do, but maybe you were a little scared to do. It's a little like putting a bucket list together that maybe you're a little bit afraid to finish. We've all got our bucket lists of, we want to see this, we want to do that, we want to go here. Most of those things are a little bit practical, and you really want to do them, so you're really not afraid to do them. I mean, maybe it might be going to a place that you've always wanted to see, or drive a sports car that you've always wanted to drive. There's things on people's bucket lists that not necessarily scare them. But I think this bucket list needs to be something that maybe you're just a little bit afraid to do. Something that just scares you a little bit. And let me give you an example of what I mean, because I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm not a fan of heights. I've never been a fan of heights. Ladders have always given me problems. I can climb them if I have to, but I've never been a fan of heights. But I've always wanted to experience what it's like to float in a hot air balloon. And I'm not sure how I could handle that, or if I could handle that. When I think about standing in that little box with nothing more than this balloon and this fire above me, I start to get a little bit anxious just thinking about that. I can feel the anxiety starting to set in. But it's something that I think about every time I see one, And I wonder what I might be missing and what that experience is like to just float quietly above the trees and just drift wherever the wind is going to take you. I think this is one of those things that is on my fear bucket list, if you want to call it. And it's something that, honestly, I think I'm going to try to do before next Halloween. I think this is something that I need to do in this next year. I really want to experience this, and I've got to work at finding those opportunities, and I want to conquer that fear and experience what it's like to float in a hot air balloon. And that's my challenge to you. I want you to find something that maybe scares you a little bit, something that you might be afraid to do, and push through and do it. Push yourself to try something new, and you may find out that you really enjoy doing it. Now, I'm not asking you to endanger your life. I wouldn't ask you anything like that, because that's not anything that I would do. I'm not an extreme person. I know I'm never going to bungee jump. I have no interest in finding out what that sensation's like. That just scares me to death, and I would never ask anybody to do something like that. But maybe you'd like to try skiing, and you've always just had a little bit of anxiety when it comes to the chairlifts. Or maybe you've always wanted to try tent camping, but you're always afraid of those things that, crawl in the night, sneaking into your tent. Or maybe you've wanted to try water skiing, and just the whole fear of falling and hurting yourself just makes you anxious. I'm telling you, whatever it is, do a little research, find a friend that has experience doing it, or just go and figure it out and do it. I mean, after all, isn't that what life is about? Enjoying experiences and trying something new. I just felt it was a fitting topic to talk about this week, being it was Halloween and everybody's into being scared and going and doing scary things. And why not challenge yourself to do something that scares you a little bit? Because you never know. You may find out you really like it. You may find out you really don't care for it and you'd never do it again. And that's fine. I mean, there's things that I've done that I'm like, there is no way I'm ever doing that again. No way. But at least you can say you've tried it. At least you can say you've done it. I think you're going to really feel great about at least trying it, whether you go back and do it again or not. There's just something about pushing through and conquering that fear that really makes you proud of yourself, makes you really feel good about yourself. So whatever you decide to try, do it with enthusiasm as one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers. And if you do try something, make sure you tell us about it. Join our Facebook group. We had a lot of members join here in the last few weeks, and we're starting to get some conversations going, and it's been great. And it's a place where we can really share experiences with each other, share pictures with each other, share videos, share ideas of things to do. And it's really a great resource for all of us to grow Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer. And that's my goal, is to get everybody outside, no matter what you're doing and what you want to share. I just encourage you to check it out. Follow the Facebook page, join our group, and be part of the conversation of Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer. On a programming note, I am taking next week off. There will not be a podcast next week. It's my wife and I's anniversary, and we are taking a few days, and we are going away. We are staying in the state. It's something we always do. It's something we enjoy doing. We like to find new places to go in the state every year for our anniversary and do a little short, kind of a little short honeymoon, as you would probably call it for us. So that's what I am doing next weekend. I've been podcasting for over a year straight every week, and I felt it was time to take a break. And I really want to take a weekend off, enjoy spending time with her, and enjoy seeing the sights and sounds of the area that we are going to be in. And I'm pretty sure I'll share those with you on another podcast in the future. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Just taking a weekend off and going to enjoy the state just like all of you enjoy the state. Thanks again for joining me. I am your host, Jason, and I will talk to you again in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. For more great information about being an outdoor explorer, visit our website at wisconsinsoutdoorexplorer.com. Be sure to check out the blog page and follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.